You are unmuted there.
कान दुखायचे थांबते ना मग कान दुखायचे थांबते लगेच बरं वाटतं रुसला
There is a lot of disturbance because of. I request all the participants to please kindly mute their mics, please.
Or else the host can easily mute. The host can also mute. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the inconvenience.
खाली लोळायची का आपण
Actually, what is the difference between the other 7 factors and
other,
8 factors and this factor? The important difference is this is basically the institutional values and best practices. It comes at 7th. It is more of general in nature. It is not more specific in nature. It is general in nature. It is very easy to fetch more marks here. There is no need for you to work very hard for fetching 100 marks. If you are a bit, if you can show a bit of creativity, if you are a bit unique in nature, you can definitely fetch more marks here. So institutional values and best practices, it is more of general in nature, not on specific here. So first of all, let us see how much marks we are going to fetch. The entire 7th category is subdivided into 3. One is 7.1 institutional values and social responsibilities, which will fetch you 50 marks, and then best practices, which will fetch you 30 marks, and then institutional distinctiveness, which will definitely fetch you 20 marks. So totally 100 marks out of 1000. But again, as I told you, 100 out of 1000 may be a bit lesser, but I would like to tell you one thing. It is always easier to get this 100 marks. If you can show a bit of passion towards NAAC accreditation, you can easily fetch 100 out of 100. And also the 7th category is directly or indirectly connected with other categories also, which we are going to explain it in a few more minutes. The first one is 7.1.1. This is about gender equality. What do you mean by gender equality? You will fetch it will give you 5 points. Normally, people expect you to give you a detailed account on measures initiated by your institution for the promotion of gender equity during the last 5 years. And you'll have to describe the gender equity and sensitization in curricular and co-curricular activities, facilities of women on campus, and all those things. You'll have to write it in 500 words. Of course, it is there in your manual also. But what I'm trying to suggest is, whenever you are talking about gender equity, we used to talk about man, women, and all those things. We can also think in terms of another area, which is transgenders. Okay, transgenders also should be treated fairly. I know one institution which is doing year-long. Sorry, not year-long. I know one institution which is doing programs every year. Every year they are doing programs for transgenders. And I know here. Let me ask you a question. A small question later. What is National Women's Day? Women's Day is celebrated in India on which date? Okay, you can in chat box you can write down. In chat box.
7th March.
Ma'am, instead of telling, and Dr. Maya, ma'am, you are right. But yeah, if you can, if you can write down in chat box, everyone can write. 7th March is Dr. Ravindra sir, Dr. Narmada sir. 7th March, not 7th March, 8th March, Manisha, right? And Dr. Kartiki Vyas, 7th March, sir, you are 99% right, sir, because 8th March is the right answer. Dr. Sharas, 8th March, right? Excellent. Dr. Aarti ma'am, excellent. Dr. Kartiki Vyas, 8th, correct. Swama, correct. Harshad ma'am, correct. Dr. Avinash sir, right. Dr. Lalit Kumar sir, excellent. 8th March. So many of the people have written, correct answers. So 8th March is the date. Yeah. Dr. Jain sir, thank you. Dr. Mane Subriya ma'am, thank you. So what I'm, almost all of you are right. See, actually, you can do certain programs for gender equity on March 8th. This is my suggestion only. This does not mean you'll have to conduct programs only on March 8th. But, in order to make it memorable for everyone in your campus, suppose in your campus, every March 8th, if you are going to celebrate a festival for gender equity, or if you are going to conduct a program on gender equity on March 8th, so every year people will expect, and also those people who have passed out from your institution will also remember that day. Yeah, March 8th, our institution used to conduct that program now. So that kind of memory things will also, will be there. So you can conduct this, and then you can provide link to annual gender sensitization action plan. There must be an action plan. So every year, and which month you are going to celebrate, or which month you are going to do programs, all those things that must be there in your annual gender sensitization program. And then specific facilities provided for women in terms of safety and security, what you are doing. I know certain institutions which are having separate women's restrooms, and the women's restrooms. It is nowadays it is common, but in addition to the women's retiring room is also there. In many institutions, not only for staff members but also for student community. Also, they have got some separate rooms for women, and also some women's counseling centers. And women, there is one more thing, daycare center for young children. And particularly in, I know some certain institutions which are having separate rooms for young children of, it is more like, some of our staff members be young parents. So for them, their small kids should be taken care of. So for them, if you are going to provide any rooms, it would definitely get accolades from the PR team, and then any other relevant information regarding gender equity programs. And then second one is environmental consciousness. Even our Supreme Court has, years back, Supreme Court has ordered EVS classes, that the environmental studies classes for all the studies. You must be knowing if a person is studying BCom, or if a person is studying uh, civil, any other, not only BCom, BSc, no, not only professional courses, any course if a person is pursuing, he must study EVS. It is there in the judgment of Supreme Court. So not only the government but also the courts are showing tremendous interest on environmental consciousness. Thanks to our court and thanks to our government's initiatives, people are nowadays are more aware of environmental problems. So taking cue from this, you can do certain things. The institution should have some facilities for alternative source of energy. What is alternative source of energy? As doctors, you must be knowing. I know one institution which is following solar energy. Their campus is called as Solar Energy Campus. Their entire energy needs are met by solar energy itself. They got big things inside their campus, and their entire energy requirements are met by solar energy. And they say our university is a solar energy campus. If you are going to do like this, nothing like that. And then you may have your own biogas plants, and then sensor-based energy conservation. If you have money and financial resources, you can go for it. But even with a little amount of money, you can do some small sensor-based energy conservation, like for switching on bell, for switching off lights, for all those things also we can use sensors nowadays. People are using, and all the ordinary bulbs can easily be replaced by LED bulbs, because we know even in our houses, we recommend LED bulbs, and when we are recommending LED bulbs for our houses, why shouldn't we do the same thing in our institution? And then you'll have to upload the geotagged photographs. The difference between a photograph and geotagged photograph. There are umpteen number of apps available in the market, free apps, through which you can take geotagged photographs, where whenever you take a photograph, it must be the time must be there, the place must be there, and everything must be there. It is there in geotagged photographs. So the authenticity of your report will get enhanced once you start using geotagged photographs. Not only for NAAC purpose, I am telling you, my dear friends, even for any other, whether it is personal or official, if you have geotagged photographs, down the line after 10 years, 12 years also, you can easily recollect certain memories about that photographs. And as I already mentioned, the authenticity of the photographs will get enhanced because of these geotagged photographs. And then any other relevant information also you can add. And then 7.1.3, this is about the facilities of the institution. It is used for the management of the following types of degradable, non-degradable waste. Here I'd like to quote certain things. One is solid waste management. Almost all the institutions are following this, but again, solid waste management is a very big area, but at least, if your canteen people are able to manage their solid waste in a proper manner, you can quote it as your solid waste management. And liquid waste management, water from restrooms can be used in a Indian Railways are doing liquid waste management in a proper manner. So if you are able to use, liquid waste management, nothing like that. Biomedical waste management, as doctors, better. But e-waste management, what is this e-waste management? Suppose, you may have You may have your own computers, you may have your own CPUs, you may have your own monitors. Sometimes some expired monitors, some certain unused CPUs might be there in your institution, but it can be it can be given to the people who are collecting e-waste. There are so many agencies available in India which are collecting e-waste. When you are instead of throwing it in a dustbin, if you are giving all these unused CPUs, unused monitors, unused speakers, then you can quote it as you can quote that you are doing e-waste management in a proper manner. And then water recycling system, you must be knowing nowadays, people, almost all the institutions are following this. And if there is any hazardous chemicals or radioactive waste materials are there in your institution, you can once again manage it in a proper manner. Then you'll have to provide link for relevant documents like agreements and MOUs. What is the agreements and MOUs? See, actually, here solid waste management, liquid waste management, there are so many, the Ministry of Environmental Sciences, which comes under central government, they got so many schemes. They got so many schemes. You can easily have an MOU with the government agencies, or else there is you must be knowing about this. Corporate social responsibility funds, CSR funds. Maharashtra is known for industries, and so many industries, big industries are there in Maharashtra. You can have MOU with any industry, because they have got their own funds for social responsibility, corporate social responsibility funds they say. And they can also spend some amount of money for our institution to create awareness on solid waste management or liquid waste management or biomedical waste management. So you can do all those things by signing MOU with the signing MOU and all, it is definitely, it will enhance the image of your institution also. Personally, I would like to tell you one thing, that when you have MOU with so many institutions, with so many government agencies, with so many corporate houses, it will definitely enhance your image. That means image in the sense your institution's image. And then, as I already mentioned, geotag photographs can be added. And then water conservation facilities, that rainwater harvesting, which is Maharashtra is known for its rainy season, and also it is known for its drought season also. If you are able to harvest rainwater in a proper way, definitely we can easily face drought conditions also. And then borewell and open well recharge, and then construction of tanks inside the campus, and wastewater recycling, how you are doing, and then how you are maintaining your water bodies. I know many institutions playgrounds become swimming pools after 1 or 2 rainy days. So in order to avoid that, what steps you are taking, or if you are not able to do anything because of the soil texture and soil nature, what you are going to, what are all the things you are doing to manage water, how you prevent diseases. So all those things, it count a lot, but it fetches you 4 marks, and you'll have to upload the geotag photographs and any other relevant information. And then this green campus initiative. Nowadays this particular word green campus is drawing attention, and it impresses many people like anything. See, one thing is restricted entry of automobiles. In my institution, in my own college, college, what we are doing is, we never allow the parents of the students or any other outsiders to get inside with their vehicles. They are allowed to park the vehicle outside the campus, and then only they are allowed to get inside. Green campus initiative. But all the students are allowed, all the staff members are allowed, all the non-teaching staff members are allowed inside with their vehicles. But other members, even if they are guests, they are not allowed inside with their vehicles without proper permission. They will have to obtain permission from the head of the institution to come inside with their vehicles. So when you restrict the entry of automobiles, naturally the green campus starts blossoming inside your institution. And then battery powered vehicles, as in Nagra, once upon a time it was told, people used to visit Taj Mahal in battery powered vehicles. But nowadays, in many temples, people are following these battery powered vehicles. In your institutions also, you can use battery powered vehicles, like to commute, to send certain small points, even for carrying electrical items, even for taking your students from, particularly those people who are disabled students. If you want to take them from one building to another building, you can use battery powered vehicles. And then pedestrian friendly pathways. What do you mean by pedestrian friendly pathways? If your institution is very big, you can subdivide the entire pathway into three: one for pedestrian, one for two wheelers, and another one is for four wheelers, in and out, in both ways. But if your institution is very small in size, Then you can have, a small pathway, like, normally in parks and other areas, people have a pathway, pedestrian friendly pathway, people normally use it for walking and jogging. Likewise, you can use, pedestrian friendly pathway also in your institution. If your institution size is different. So depending upon the size of your institution, you can go for, the pedestrian friendly pathways in a big manner or a small manner. And then, you can announce your institution as a, no plastic zone, but it must start from your, no, not it should not start from your students or staff members. It must start from the canteen itself. First of all, canteen must stop, using plastic bags and polythene bags, and then you can go to, and then landscaping with the trees and plants. If your institution is having more and more number of trees and plants, we are going to see in detail about these trees and plants in the next few slides. This green campus initiative will definitely enhance the image also. Then it must be followed by geographic photographs, relevant documents, reports, and any other relevant information. Here comes quality audit. 7.1.6 quality audits. What is this? This is green audit. Nowadays there are agencies available in the market who are doing green audit. Once upon a time, there were separate agencies who are doing green audit, energy audit, and environmental audit. But nowadays, one agency doing all those three audits. What is this green audit? Now, how many trees are available? For example, Dr. Maya Madam is there. Yes, yes, Dr. Maya Madam is there. Suppose for this, for an example, I'm telling you, in order to make you understand the things. Maya Ma'am inhales and exhales. For while exhaling, she releases, she exhales carbon dioxide. So this much of carbon dioxide she is releasing. So for the same carbon dioxide is used up by trees for photosynthesis. You know that. So how many trees must be there for this many students? For example, if your campus is having, say, 700 students and 100 staff members, so totally 800 people. So for 800 people, this many trees must be there, to use up their carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is used up by them for photosynthesis, as you know well. So if you are able to balance it, if you are able to balance the output of carbon dioxide and the input of trees, then this is being done by green auditors, and then energy audit and environment audit. Energy audit, how your energy levels are being, how your energy requirements are being met. Like, your requirements must be there. For example, it is under this energy audit, your LED bulbs come. Your electricity comes. So many things are there. For one time, I'm just touching it up, but I hope you understand what I mean. And then environment audit, if there is any emission of gases from your institution, you be doubly careful. And also, if you are able to cultivate more amount of trees, that would be fantastic. And then clean and green campus recognition awards. Here also I would like to go. Certain times our government is giving so many awards for this green campus. But if you are not able to, fetch any awards from the government institution or any other institution, you can get some awards and recognition from the local Rotary clubs, local Lions club, local Junior Chamber International clubs. They have been giving awards, so many awards, in recognition of our initiative towards green campus. So you can have proper and cordial relationship with Rotary, Lions, and JCI, and you can definitely get some recognitions for awards. And beyond the campus environmental promotion activity, what is this? See, actually, you can take your students to a nearby village or nearby area, and you can promote this no plastic zone. You can talk about environmental awareness. You can talk about rainwater harvesting. You can talk about environmental hazards. You can talk about so many things along with your students. Here, I would like to quote one thing. See, actually, in your category 3, people might have talked about extension activity, right? People might talk about extension activity. When you are taking your students for environmental promotion activity outside the campus, it is an extension activity. So you can quote it in category 3 and category 7. Hope you understand what I mean. So you are doing one program and including it in both category 3 and category 7. And personally, I would suggest, suppose if you conduct 5 programs, you put 3 programs under category 3, and put 2 programs under category 7. This is my suggestion. But if you go to 3, 3rd, and 7th, nobody question you. It is well within your right to quote one program in both the categories. It is not an, and then you'll have to upload audit reports of the institution, that audit report, green audit, energy audit, environmental audit, and then any other relevant information also. And then 7.1.7, this is about the institution disabled friendly. Yeah, people nowadays say it is not disabled, this is differently abled people, right? They are differently abled people. So you can construct ramps, you can construct lifts. Of course, many institutions are having lifts, I know, but at the same time, if you have a separate lift for differently abled people, then that will be fantastic. That means you are respecting the differently abled people. I never believe in calling them as disabled people. They are differently abled people. So differently able to for differently able to people, you can have separate washroom. You can have separate pathway, separate display board, signpost, because they are also human beings. We have to respect them. So when the respect must be there. I know everyone respects, but if the respect is shown in your deeds also, then that would be fantastic. And then assistive technology and facilities for persons with disabilities, accessible website and screen reading software and mechanized equipment, all those things. And you have to do provision for inquiry and information for human assistance, reader, scribes, soft copies of reading material, and screen reading. You must be knowing all those things. Why this scribe reading? This is very particularly those people who have got visual impairment. They must be given enough help by the institution. All those things will fetch you 4 marks. It must be uploaded in a proper manner. And then 7.1.8 here also, inclusive environment. What is this inclusive environment? People nowadays are talking about inclusive environment and exclusive environment. You know, so what I am trying to suggest you here is, you can conduct festivals, of all the religions and inviting people from all the religions. What is this? Suppose you are celebrating, now just now we have completed Makar Sankranti. See, for Mahar Sankranti, you can invite people from all the religions and conduct a small program like, then it becomes an inclusive, you are promoting inclusivity in your campus. Irrespective of culture, irrespective of region, religion, linguistic, or communal, socio-economic, and any other diversity, irrespective of these kind of problems, if you are able to conduct a program for all the people, and then definitely. I know one institution which used to conduct Diwali and Makara Sankranti. Here now area it is called as Pongal, and then Ramzan, and then Christmas. All the celebrations they used to help people. That particular institution, they used to invite students or poor students from other institutions of various religions, and they used to give away many materials. Sometimes they give study materials also, and they certain times they are ready to pay the fee structure also. All those things they are doing, irrespective of religion, they are doing. So when you are showcasing it, or when you are doing it, and when you are giving it in your report, definitely you will get 5 full marks here. So and then again, in addition to doing it, you will have to have supporting documents on the information provided. Okay, so and then human values and professional ethics. You know that very well. Maharashtra is known for great eminent lawyers and great judges. You can invite any one of the judge, or any one of the lawyers, and ask them to talk on rights and duties and responsibilities of citizen. Nowadays, our young people must know their rights, their duties and responsibilities. So this is definitely needed. And at least on human civil day, or on certain particular days, you can invite them and ask them to give a talk to them, so that our students will also get benefited. You can do this so that they know the value of human life also. I always feel more than giving money, more than giving other things, we must inculcate that value system in the minds of the students. Not only for NAC, not only for NIRF, NARF or NAC, they are very important, no doubt. But again, while preparing for all those things, if we are able to sensitize our students on human values, and then that would be fabulous. And then 7.1.0, this is code of conduct. I know every institution has got its own code of conduct. It is there in their handbook also. But what I am trying to impress upon you at this point of time is, there must be a prescribed code of conduct for students, teachers, administrators, staff, non-teaching staff, all the people, but it must be displayed on your website. Now, there must be a website in your institution, I know, but in your website, everything must be there, full of photographs, full of achievements, accomplishments, everything. But whether the code of conduct is there or not, for NAC, your website should have code of conduct, and there must be a committee to monitor the adherence of the code of conduct, and the members of the committee must be notified in the notice board, and also in your website also the committee members must be, names must be there. And if you are able to conduct any programs, particularly professional ethics programs, particularly you people are professionals, and definitely there must be some professional ethics programs, and that that can also be included, but that is directly connected with the code of conduct also. And then web link of code of conduct, and then details of monitoring committee, it must be there. And then 7.1.1, this is about then important days. National Youth Day. Which day is National Youth Day? A question. You can give me an answer in
12 January.
Yeah, you are very near, so
12 January. 12 January.
12th January.
1st January, excellent. Great. Supriya ma'am, great. Subangi ma'am, great. Jamala, great ma'am. Ashish sir, great. Dr. Kiran sir, great. Dr. Udra sir, great. Dr. Bhairavi, great. Dr. Shilpa ma'am, great. Vivekananda Jayanti also, one doctor has mentioned, excellent. Excellent. Dr. Sarnapil, great. Dr. Satish sir, great. Dr. Milind Kamlesh sir, great. Dr. Kanika Vyas sir, great. Dr. Raki ma'am, great. Dr. Gule Sushitra, great. Dr. Maya ma'am, great. All are great. All Ayurveda and Unani doctors are very intelligent and brilliant, I know, and excellent. And actually, what I'm watching, the National Youth Day just now we have celebrated on January 12th. If you are able to organize a big seminar or symposium, for the welfare of the students or for the welfare of the public, and if you are able to respect the efforts you have taken towards celebrating that particular event, that would be fantastic. Here, I'd like to mention one thing. My previous speakers might have told about all those things. Whenever you conduct a program, first you must have a circular. Circular must be there, and there must be minutes. And the minutes, in the minutes, should sign or must sign. I would say must sign. All the participants must sign, and then you can have a review meeting of that program also. For the review meeting also, you can have a small invitation circular, and then a minutes book, and everything must be there. So your minutes book is must, boss. My dear friends, the minutes book is must. Yeah. As I mentioned, once again, let me repeat. There must be a circular and minutes book. If there is any dissent in the during the meeting, that must be there in the minutes book, and everybody's sign must be there. And in the minutes book, you must write what is the discussion and what is the conclusion you have come to. What is the conclusion you have arrived at. So all these things must be included in the minutes. Hope you understand what I mean. So whenever you conduct a program, if it is backed properly by your minutes book, what is that? It is ultimate. And then best practices. If an institution is following any best practices, definitely it is great. Any two institutional best practices, sir. What is this best practices? Actually, many institutions are following different methods. Here, I'd like to quote two institutional best practices, which is followed by one health sciences institution in Maharashtra. I don't want to mention the name here; it is not fair. But this is a health institution in Maharashtra. It is there. In their SSR report, it is there. One. In their hospital, they have got low cost they have got a small shop like such a low cost medical shop. In their hospital, in their institution, they have the advantages. The prices they have mentioned in SSR report. The prices are cheaper comparing to the other comparing to medical shops of exterior areas. And also in their institution, they are following certain methods. Best practice, it comes under best practice. They never allow medical representatives to get inside and explain things. See, I am not for it, I am not against it. I am just telling you what another institution is doing. Because I personally feel that medical representatives explain certain things to the doctors. So I have a very high respect for them, no doubt. But what they do is, let me tell you why they are not allowing other company people to get inside. They write only generic names. In their prescription, they write only generic names. They don't write any brand's name. Even if they go out and buy the medicines, they can buy cheaper medicines. That is how that hospital or that institution. And in their medical shop also, there is no, people are not selling by in the name of, brand. They are selling it by the name of generic. So the advantage is, if there is, the advantage you understand, they are able to provide low cost medicine, but at the same time, quality is the best medicine they apply to the patients. That is one best practice they are following. And the second thing they are following is they are called a Q card. What is a Q card? It is like a ATM card. They are giving a Q card to their patients. It is like ATM card. Yes, so for example, you can pay 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees in their card. So whenever you come inside the hospital as a patient, you can come get the medicine. There is no need for you to wait for payment. Like where those people who used to fly. Nowadays we check by through web checking now. So there is no need for us to stand in a queue. We can directly go to the airport, put the luggage, and directly go towards the security terminal, right? So otherwise, you'll have to stand up in the queue, right, in the airport. Likewise, in the hospital also they have got a queue card. If you got queue card, there is no need for you to there is no need for you to stand in queue. You can directly go get the medicine to go out. And they have got a separate queue, separate queue also, like there is no need for them to stand in a queue. They can go and they like no queue card. They mentioned that card as no queue card. No queue card means there is no need for to stand in a queue. So this is just an example I am telling. You can do your own best practices. Suppose if you are if your students and staff members are donating blood, say in on every first of December, on the 8th day, right? And if you are going to donate blood, fantastic. It is a best practice. So blood donation is definitely a great one. Donation in your institution, first class. So these are some of the examples I have given, but it is up to you to best practice. But minimum two institutional best practice. Just two best practices successfully implemented by your institution, and then 7.3. This is the last one. This is the last one. Institutional distinctiveness. Now you can ask me, what is the difference between best practice and institutional distinctiveness? I am very happy to note in one institution, Mihir sir is there. There, all the staff members are there in one area, and all are listening to our program carefully and with a great interest and passion. Many congratulations, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Kudos.
Thank you, sir.
It shows passion and
All heads of the criteria are sitting here to listen to the speakers and get more knowledge and updated.
thank you, sir. So this is the last slide. 7.3. This is institutional distinctiveness. Now, what is the difference between institutional distinctiveness and best practice? See, institutional distinctiveness is also a best practice only. But if it is unique in nature, you are the only person who is following this. No other institution is following. It is very unique of mine. Then you can call it as institutional distinctiveness. I know one institution. Once again in Maharashtra, they used to go to villages around their institution and do many awareness programs. Under NHRMS, government of Maharashtra is having one program called VHNSC. You know that? Village Health and Nutrition Sanitation Committee. There are certain committees, VHNSC. So many committees are there, and this is one important committee, Village Health and Nutrition Sensitization Committee. So you can have a collaboration with this VHNSC committee, and you can do so many programs for them, awareness program in the villages. You can talk about vitamins. You can talk about vitamin A, because nowadays vitamin A deficiency is a very big problem in almost all the states. So you can create some kind of awareness. Our young people are not ready to take up small vegetarian items and millets. You can talk about millets. You can talk about so many things. And the thing is, and in the report, in SSR report, I was astonished to see that SSR report, they have mentioned, like, say, before we go to that village, what was the percentage of the mothers knowing about the problems of infants, and now what is the percentage of mothers who know the ill effects of this, and the percentage of fathers who know the problems of pregnancy, this much percentage. But after our sensitization program, how many fathers come to know about this percentage? And vitamin A deficiency problem was there in this much of percentage of people. It was there before we took up programs, but after our programs, how much percentage is there? So all those things are reported. So when in your SSR report, when you are giving this, and it is because of your institution's distinctiveness, this particular village is able to improve from here to there, then that would be fabulous and fantastic, my dear friends. This is just an example. You can have your own, institutions distinctiveness. Suppose you may have your own MOUs. MOUs are very distinctive. In my institution has got, MOU. We have signed MOUs with some foreign, with some foreign agencies also. And we have got a MOU with Mumbai University. Mumbai University, we have got our own MOU with Mumbai University. And we are near Kanyakumari. My places, my institution places and Chutigari. And we have got MOU with Mumbai University. So these MOUs are, we claim it is, our institution's distinctiveness. So through that MOU, what you are doing, that is more important. Apart from signing MOU, what you are going to do with this MOU? Because people normally say, goal setting is very important, no problem. But after setting the goal or after reaching the goal, what you get is is very much important, right? So likewise, you can have your own distinctiveness, but after using that distinctiveness, how much you are getting benefits, and what are all the benefits that particular village or the beneficiaries will get. So that counts a lot. So you will have to portray the performance of the institution in one area, distinctiveness to your priority, and trust within 500 words. And then you'll have to provide web link to appropriate web page in the institutional website. Of course, it is also there. So you'll have to portray all those things. So my dear friends, with this we are completing, I suppose.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I think sir had a clear all doubts.
Sir, one question, please.
Ask.
Sir,
Sir, one question, shall I ask?
Yes, sir, please.
Sir, you have shown the 7th criteria, that is the best practices, and we also the format what we are drawn from the NAAC website. Yes, it is updated format. So in that format there is no mentioning of green audit and all those things. So which format we should refer? Whether you have shown right now, or whether we drawn from the NAAC website.
So actually, as far as my knowledge goes, this green audit, energy audit, all those things are being done. Even in my own institution, we are doing it, sir. But again, since you asked this particular question, I'll once again, come back to you after referring with the NAAC applications.
Sir, as per our this green audit and all these things are in the advanced pro forma for health science, higher education, advanced pro forma. In the basic pro forma, it is not given, but we will, and who is supposed to do the audit? If we want to go for such green audits, who will be the authority to conduct these audits?
So actually, there are certain agencies, sir. Auditing firms are there. They are doing it, sir. If you go through, for example, green audit agencies or green audit firms through Google, I suppose you are able to find out the people in Maharashtra. I do not know the people in Maharashtra, but definitely there must be people, sir, because people are doing it, sir. Many auditing firms are doing, many auditing firms are doing it, sir. And as I suggested, instead of going in for one green audit, one energy audit, one environment audit, you can contact one agency or one firm which can do all the three things. That is better for you. That will avoid confusion also.
मिहीर सर,
Okay.
ISO जे देतात ना, ते सुद्धा एजन्सी ह्या अप्रूव्ड असतात आणि ग्रीन ऑडिट, एनर्जी ऑडिट आणि एन्व्हायरमेंट ऑडिट त्यांच्या माध्यमातून सुद्धा त्यांना ऑथराइज बऱ्याच ठिकाणी केलं गेलं आहे.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, one more.
Sir, Mihir sir, just one question. Mihir sir. सर, आम्ही जो NAACच्या वेबसाईट वरून काढलाय तो 9/2/21 चा फॉर्मॅट आहे.
हो, बरोबर आहे. तोच आहे आमच्याकडे, तोच आहे. यांनी
पण त्याच्यामध्ये सर
ग्रीन ऑडिट नाहीये सर त्याच्यामध्ये, नाहीये. बरोबर आहे.
ग्रीन कॅम्पस आहे, ग्रीन कॅम्पस आहे,
ग्रीन
एनर्जी
कॅम्पस आहे.
एन्व्हायरमेंट.
आणि नाही, आणि सर अजून एक मला असं वाटतं हा आपला अपडेटेड आहे, कारण आपल्यामध्ये दिव्यांजन फ्रेंडली असं वर्ड आहे, त्यांच्यामध्ये डिसेबल्ड फ्रेंडली असं वर्ड आहे, त्याच्यामुळे
नाही, डिफरंटली एबल्ड आहे सर, डिफरंटली एबल्ड असा शब्द.
मिहिर सर
नाही,
ग्रीन कॅम्पस
आमच्याकडे
आहे.
दिव्य
ऐका माझं सर, माझं ऐका. तुम्ही जो SSR वापरताय तो बरोबर आहे, तो नवीनच SSR आहे. दुसरी गोष्ट अशी आहे की तुम्हाला जर ग्रीन कॅम्पस आपल्याला दाखवायचंय, ग्रीन कॅम्पस दाखवण्यासाठी हे जे ऑडिट्स असतात ते जर आपण करून घेतले तर आपल्याला जास्त वेटेज मिळेल.
ओके ओके ओके.
ग्रीन ऑडिट, एनर्जी ऑडिट जर आपण केलं, ISO पण काय म्हणतो आपण एन्व्हायरमेंटल ऑडिट करून देतो. 25,000
अंजली मॅडम,
14,000.
अंजली
डॉक्टर
मॅडम,
अंजली मॅडम.
हे कोणाकडनं ऑडिट करायचं तेच आम्ही विचार करतो.
ऐका, आमच्या कॉलेजचं ऑडिट आम्ही शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटीकडनं करून घेतलं. ज्या युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये एन्व्हायरमेंटल डिपार्टमेंट असतं, ते एन्व्हायरमेंटल डिपार्टमेंट आपल्याला करून देतं. समजा मुंबई युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये एन्व्हायरमेंटल डिपार्टमेंट असेल तर एन्व्हायरमेंटल डिपार्टमेंट आपल्याला एनर्जी ऑडिट करून देतं.
मॅडम एक रिक्वेस्ट आहे फॉर इंटरप्शन, एक रिक्वेस्ट आहे की आपण इंटरनल आपलं डिस्कशन बंद करावं प्लीज. तर राजा सरांसाठी जर काही क्वेश्चन
ओके
I
सर.
have one question for Raja sir.
आपण
Raja sir,
डिस्कशन वेगळं ठेवूया.
ओके सर.
one question for Raja sir.
Thank you, madam.
7.1.1 and 1.2, I have not understood the exact difference, that gender equity sensitization programs and gender equity promotion programs. So what is the difference between the sensitization and promotion programs?
Let me come back to you, sir. Sir, this is 7.1.1. This is gender equity
Yes.
program, right, sir?
Yes. This is promotion of gender equity.
Yes, sir. 7.1.1 is environmental consciousness and sustainability, sir.
Yes, yes.
It is quite different, na, sir. This gender sensitization program is different from environmental consciousness and sustainability program, sir.
So, sir, in our SSR, which we have downloaded, the recent one, 2021, there is one point, gender equity sensitization program and gender equity promotion program initiated by the.
If you want me to, actually, if you want me to explain it, gender equity sensitization is, you'll have to make them aware of the problems which are created by gender inequality and all those things, sir. Right, sir?
Okay.
So you are sensitizing the people. Particularly, the second point, sir, you are talking about second one, sir?
Gender equity, promotion of gender equity.
And gender equity in the sense, you are promoting directly to the people, sir. Like, how you promote gender equity. For example, in the institution, you are conducting certain things, or while conducting the classes, while conducting the seminars, while conducting the symposium, you are giving importance for both the boys and girls. For example, master ceremony is being done. This is just an example. You can do so many things, big things you can do. But a boy and a girl, both are doing. For example, if a program is being organized, if a tour is being done, or if an environmental awareness program is being done, the leadership, who is taking the leadership mantle? So both boys as well as girls are given importance. So these kind of things you can tell, yes, we are giving importance to both the people, both males as well as females. Likewise.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your guidance. Definitely, our faculty is quite enriched with knowledge about this particular criterion 7 institutional values and best practices. On behalf of MUHS Nashik, we are highly obliged for your guidance. Now, moving towards, we have Professor Y.M. Jairaj sir, who is going to guide us on